Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 most heinous crimes Donkey Kong has ever committed. And so he's finally here, prepared to get sued, and if you have a case, you can charge him too. Put your claims together if you're clapping back as we go after this monkey's rap. DK, Donkey Kong, DK. Donkey Kong's on trial. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. It is time to put this conniving gorilla behind bars. But before we put this monkey on trial, we publish new videos all week long. So be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Exhibit A, Kidnapping Pauline, Mario vs. Donkey Kong series. Prior to this spin-off series, DK had already kidnapped Pauline before, but that was technically Cranky Kong. Not sure the reason why he did it, but whatever it was, it couldn't have been anywhere near as petty as the new Donkey Kong's reasons in Mario vs. Donkey Kong. On more than a handful of occasions here, DK winds up kidnapping Pauline simply because he was not able to get his hands on a mini Mario toy. Yes, a toy is the sole reason why this menace decided to abduct a person. DK, my man, this level of outrage is just inexcusable, especially since resale places like eBay exist. You want it so badly, if it's on sale for $2,000 by John Smith of Arkansas, pony up the dough.
Mario with his VIP guest Pauline for the ribbon-cutting ceremony.
Exhibit B, replacing Kamek, Mario Kart 64. One of the weirdest things about Mario Kart 64's development is that we almost had a completely different character on the roster. Various screenshots and video snippets show that Kamek was originally going to be one of the playable characters, but for some reason, that changed mid-development. Nintendo decided that Donkey Kong was way better to have in the game instead, and wrangled in Rare to obtain assets to make his model. Basically, Kamek had the spot stolen from him and would not get to join in on the racing fun until 2019 when Mario Kart Tour came out. More than 20 years since his planned inclusion. Sure, this is far from a misdemeanor, but one could say this was the start of DK's life of intentional crime. Getting captured twice. Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest and Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. After trouncing the likes of King K. Rool in the first Donkey Kong Country, one would think the leader of the bunch would be unstoppable. Really, how could a bunch of brainless Kremlings stand toe-to-toe with him after a whooping like that? Yet somehow, DK was just stupid enough to let himself get kidnapped in DKC 2, forcing his nephew and his nephew's girlfriend to save him. Then, instead of taking precautions, as anyone realistically would, DK lets himself get kidnapped a second time, along with his nephew, leaving Dixie and Kiddy Kong, the baby of the family, to save them. At what point do we look at this and say, this is child endangerment? Someone get Peach on the horn, she needs to weigh in on this. Cheating in baseball, Mario Superstar Baseball and Mario Super Sluggers. According to numerous baseball organizations, a baseball bat must be in the shape of a round and smooth stick made of either wood, metal, or some composite material with a diameter no bigger than roughly 2.5 inches. By that criteria, Donkey Kong has violated the rules of baseball not once, but twice, as he used a boxing glove instead of a legal bat in both Mario baseball games. Why anyone let him get away with this is anybody's guess, but we suspect one of two scenarios happened. Either 1, Lakitu is the worst umpire in baseball history and overlooked this rule and should be fired, or 2, everybody was too scared to tell DK, hey, bro, you can't do that, you need to use a bat. The ape has soiled the integrity of baseball. He must pay for his crimes. Establishing a meta, Mario Kart Double Dash. One of the interesting aspects of Double Dash is that this was the first Mario Kart to include special items unique to certain characters and allow players to use them. Thing is that each character's special item has a higher chance of being given depending on what placement you are in the race. In the case of DK and Diddy Kong, you get giant bananas more often when you're in second or first place. With giant bananas taking up so much space before splitting off into 3 smaller peels, the Kongs can easily dominate and oppress other racers without much effort, making them top-tier characters. And so, we're charging DK with the crime of establishing a meta in what used to be a simple, fun, and sometimes BS racing game. Now, it's just BS all the time. The DK Roulette, Mario Party 5. Speaking of BS, Mario Party has often been known to be more lenient on dumb luck as opposed to skill. Mario Party 5 was a bit more egregious in this regard than the others on account of Donkey Kong's role, going from playable character to possible nonsense to give players a free star for no reason. See, when landing on a DK space, Donkey Kong can start one of 3 events, one of them being the DK Roulette. This event pits DK and the player in a simple game to see who can roll the highest number. More often than not, if the player wins, they receive a star as their grand prize. Yeah, there is almost no effort in trying to beat DK in this. We won't be too harsh on the ape for this one though, since this feature was never integrated into future installments. But it does show that there is quite a bit of favoritism at play here. If somebody gets the DK Roulette, you know who DK likes more. Spamming down B, Super Smash Bros. And Super Smash Bros. Melee. No matter how balanced or imbalanced you may find the first 2 Smash games, we can all agree that casual DK mains were obnoxious. Yes, we are pinning this on the Kong because dealing with his down B move was outright annoying. If the player kept pressing B while holding down on the analog stick, Donkey Kong could slam the ground and inflict damage for however long he wanted to. This wouldn't have been an issue had his range not covered so much ground between both games. Your feet are on the floor? Let me just slap the ground and launch you. Later Smash games would nerf this move to hell, but man, for us older players, DK was a nightmare to endure here. Those giant Donkey Kong fights were especially agitating. Cheating in boxing, Punch-Out. Okay, so Donkey Kong may or may not have a clear understanding of the rules of baseball. Maybe he's more honorable in boxing? Nope! DK has as much integrity here as a YouTuber-led charity boxing event. As most folks who watch boxing know, one of the main rules of the sport is that only punches using the knuckles are allowed. Any kind of backhanded punch, overhead punch, double fist punch, cartwheels, and somersaults are illegal moves. Well, Donkey Kong utilizes every single one of those maneuvers, and the ref does nothing to stop him. Is it out of fear? Is it out of sheer negligence? No matter the case, DK should just be barred from the world of sports entirely after this. Playing God with people's homes. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, this isn't just a crime on DK's behalf, but it's a crime many of you out there have committed as well. As we are all no doubt aware, Donkey Kong Bonanza gives you almost complete freedom in tearing apart the world in however way you see fit. The environment is truly your playground, but when people's homes and people's lives are at risk, it's a different story. And you're all laughing. Donkey Kong is tearing homes up for his own personal gain, and you're laughing. This alone should prove how much of a menace this banana muncher truly is, and if you're somehow still not convinced, we have one last damning piece of evidence to provide. This gorilla needs to be thrown in jail. Getting Nintendo into legal trouble. Donkey Kong. Poor old Nintendo was just trying to make history with their first ever arcade game, back when they were a simple mom and pop shop. And what does Donkey Kong do? Let's get the company in trouble with Universal Studios! The defendant had the audacity to borderline mimic the legendary motion picture King Kong and wound up landing Nintendo in a rather heated lawsuit. The company was accused of trademark infringement due to the similarities between the game and the film. And somehow, the judge ruled against Universal's claims, stating that the movie company had filed the lawsuit in bad faith and that they had no ownership over King Kong. In other words, Donkey Kong was an original work. And if that's not enough to throw him behind bars, then I don't know what will. What's the most devious deed that you've seen Donkey Kong commit? Perhaps I overlooked it and maybe I need to redo this video and add it to my case, but let us know what you think down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays for more great videos every day.